So we have the quadrilateral SHAY plotted on our coordinate grid. We're looking at it and we say, I think that looks like maybe a rhombus or maybe it's a parallelogram. Now we're going to do the actual process of coordinate geometry to figure out which one we have. All right, so I like to be organized. So I prefer to make a table to help me organize my work. So in your notes, I want you to copy down this table. We're going to do each side in its own row. So we've got side SH, HA, AY, and YS. And then for each side of my quadrilateral, I'm going to find the slope and I'm going to find the length. We're going to start with SH. SH is a vertical line. Remember, our slope is always going to be the rise over the run. And if I have a vertical line, like I have here with SH, I have a rise of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I have a rise of 5, but my run is 0. It's not going to the right at all. When you have a vertical line, you're not going to be able to draw in a slope triangle because it is vertical. It would be one of the legs of your slope triangle rather than the hypotenuse of your slope triangle. When I have a rise but no run, so I have a vertical line, that means that I would have to divide by 0. And like everybody knows, the number one rule in math is you cannot divide by 0. If you put that into your calculator, it will tell you either error or what we call undefined. My slope is undefined. It is a vertical line. There is no run. It is undefined. When it comes to finding the length of this side, I can just count. When my line is horizontal or vertical, I can just count the length by how many units it is. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It has a length of 5. Now we're going to find the slope and the length of side length HA. Since HA is a slanted line, we will be drawing in a slope triangle. So I draw my slope triangle from H all the way up to A. My rise is 1, 2, 3, and my run is 1, 2, 3, 4. So my slope for HA will be 3 over 4. To find the length of HA, I need to use the Pythagorean theorem. So I'm using my slope triangle as my right triangle for the Pythagorean theorem. So I'm going to kind of write this off to the side here. I would do 3 squared plus 4 squared, and that would equal HA squared. So 3 squared is 9, 4 squared is 16, 9 plus 16 is 25. And then if I do the square root of 25 to get HA, hey, that's a perfect square. It gives me a length of 5. Awesome. All right, now we're going to do AY. AY is another vertical line. So I know now that anytime I have a vertical line, it is going to be undefined. And all vertical lines are going to be parallel to each other, just like all horizontal lines will be parallel to each other. And if I have a vertical line and a horizontal line that intersect, they're going to be perpendicular. Okay, so now let's count AY. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, look at that. It also has a length of 5. Awesome. And my final one that I'm going to find the slope and the length for is YS. Drawn in my slope triangle and doing some counting. 1, 2, 3. My rise is 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. My run is 4. So rise over run is going to be 3 over 4. And hey, that slope triangle is identical to the other one. That means that the length has to be the same. So I don't have to do the Pythagorean theorem again because it's the same triangle. It's a leg of 3 and a leg of 4. So that means my length is 5. Okay, so now let's mark our diagram for what we have. So I know that the 2 vertical lines are parallel to each other. So those two lines are parallel. And I know that HA and YS both have a slope of 3/4. So those are also going to be parallel to each other. Okay, so I've got myself a parallelogram. So it must be a parallelogram. Could be something different. Well, all 4 lengths are 5. So that means that I've got 4 congruent side lengths. So now we're looking at it being a rhombus. Could be a square if all 4 angles were 90. But since my slopes are not opposite reciprocals of each other, it can't be a square. So based on the values in the table, I can say that Shayla's shape, Shay, is a rhombus. So I'm going to say it is a rhombus. And my justification for it being a rhombus is that SH is parallel to AY and HA is parallel to YS. And the reason that I know that these two things are parallel is because they have the same slopes. And then I know that all 4 sides are congruent because they all have the same length of 5. And that is what tells me that this is a rhombus. All the justification you need is just saying these 2 pairs of lines are parallel, all 4 sides are congruent, and you have all of the math above, finding the slopes and finding the lengths. You do not have to do any sort of a flow chart or anything like that. This is all the justification you need to say that this shape is a rhombus.